Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a literal game changer for local AI capabilities. If you've been holding out for an AI that actually lives locally on your own machine, scales up with whatever crazy workflows you throw at it, and genuinely works right alongside you, well, Hermes Agent version 0.15.0, also known as the Velocity Update, is exactly what you need to be looking at. This update completely rewrites the rulebook on how we interact with localized artificial intelligence. You know that frustrating loop we're all stuck in with AI right now? You're constantly copy-pasting the exact same system prompts into a chat box, day in and day out. All because the chatbot has absolute amnesia. You close the tab, boom, it completely forgets you even exist. But imagine this. What if your AI agent actually remembered every single project you've ever worked on? What if it lived securely on your own server, learned your specific quirks and preferences, and literally got smarter the longer you used it? That's not just a pipe dream anymore. That's the promise of a true, evolving local agent. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for getting you set up today. First, we'll meet the agent itself. Then we'll walk through installing it from scratch, setting up your web chat, securing all your keys with Bitwarden, and we'll wrap up with some pro tips for beginners. All right, Section 1. Meet your local AI agent. So before we start hitting install on anything, we really need to understand what Hermes actually is and why this specific v0.15.0 release is making such massive waves in the open source community right now. At its core, Hermes Agent is a free, completely open source AI agent built by the folks at Noose Research under the MIT license. And guys, this isn't just another basic coding assistant stuck inside a single app window. It's a fully autonomous helper. It's totally sandboxed, meaning it safely runs jobs in isolated containers like your local Docker or SSH. Plus, it hooks directly into 23 different platforms. We're talking Telegram, Discord, Slack. You can literally start chatting with it on your phone while grabbing coffee and pick the exact same conversation up on your laptop when you get home using the exact same memory context. And here's where the velocity part of the update comes in. The performance gains are just absolutely staggering. Think about this number for a second. 4,500 times faster. That is the jump in speed for session searches. A search that used to take a grueling 30 seconds per call in the older build, that now runs in an imperceptible 20 milliseconds. It totally changes the game for how the agent pulls up context during your heavy, complex workflows. So how exactly did they pull off those lightning-fast speeds? Honestly, it's all about ruthlessly cutting the code bloat. The core file that runs the entire conversation loop was slashed by a massive 76%. It dropped from over 16,000 lines down to just about 3,800. Because of that, cold start speeds on the Android terminal went from 2.9 seconds to a blazing fast 0.8 seconds. And it's just way smarter about how it operates, using 47% fewer function calls in a standard 31-turn chat. Bottom line, it loads faster, it runs faster, and trust me, it is significantly easier to debug. Moving right along to Section 2, installing Hermes from scratch. Okay, now that we know what's under the hood, let's actually get this running on your rig. And hey, don't sweat it if you aren't a command line wizard. Getting this off the ground is literally as simple as running a single command. Step 1, open your terminal, grab the curl install script directly from the Hermes Agent Noose Research repo, and just pipe it into bash. That script is going to do all the heavy lifting for you. Step 2, once that finishes, you just type Hermes setup. It's going to launch this super intuitive prompt where you just pick which AI models you want, decide on messaging gateways, and punch in your basic credentials. Just like that, the core engine is alive and kicking. Part 3, setting up web chat. Look, chatting in the terminal is cool for the hacker aesthetic, but for daily driving, a clean visual interface is just way better. To bridge your local server with a slick front-end chat, you only need 3 configuration steps. First step, open your .hermes/.env file and enable the API. Second, run Hermes Gateway to fire up the local server. And third, launch OpenWeb UI inside Docker and point it to port 8642. This gives you a highly polished, totally local web interface, complete with your chat history and user accounts. The absolutely crucial detail here is just making sure your environmental variables are set up right so the API securely talks to Docker. You've got to set API_server_enabled to true and generate a secret API_server key. Once that's done and you start the gateway, you'll get a confirmation line saying it's listening on port 8642. Oh, and a quick heads up for my Linux users running without Docker Desktop. The default host address won't resolve for you out of the box. You'll just need to use a host mapping flag, set up host networking, or point straight to the Docker Bridge IP. The official docs outline all 3 options super clearly, so no worries there. All right, Section 4, Securing Everything with Bitwarden. As you start playing around and connecting different models, you are going to rack up a ton of API keys. Hermes completely solves the headache and the security risk of hard coding all of these. We all know the old way, right? Pasting vulnerable plain text API keys into random config files and then pulling your hair out trying to find them when you need to update one. Well, the new way is brilliant. You literally just provide Hermes with one single Bitwarden token. That is the whole shebang. Hermes will automatically pull every credential it needs straight from your Bitwarden Secrets Manager. Rotate a key in Bitwarden, Hermes updates it on the fly. It is a true set-it-and-forget-it automated security setup.
Finally, Section 5, Pro Tips for Beginners.
Okay, you are installed, the UI is looking good, and your keys are locked in a vault. To make sure you hit the ground running, let's rattle off some quick workflow tips. First, start simple. Don't try to connect every platform on day one. Pick Telegram or Discord, get a feel for how the agent responds, and build out from there. Second, turn on memory immediately. The longer Hermes runs with its memory active, the smarter and more personalized it gets. Third, use skill bundles to group your workflows. If you have a writing routine that needs 4 different tools, you don't need to load them one by one. Just create a bundle and type something like /writing day to load them all instantly. And lastly, for those massive, overwhelming projects, try typing Hermes Kambban Swarm. This is wild. It tells Hermes to spin up an entire team of mini agents. We're talking parallel workers, verifiers, synthesizers, all sharing a digital blackboard to tackle the huge tasks for you. The Velocity update really does put the power and speed to completely automate your digital life right at your fingertips. Whether you want to describe an app in plain English and have Hermes build it from scratch, or you just want it quietly auditing your weekly reports while you sleep, you now have the exact roadmap to make it happen. Which leaves us with one final incredibly exciting question to wrap up this explainer. What will your local agent build first?